The United States has flexed its muscles in the Strait of Hormuz, but could it be China that holds the key to ending the Iranian blockade? Donald Trump has asked his NATO allies to help unblock the strait, but the passage where 20% of the world's oil supplies flow from remains firmly closed. So far, China has remained aloof from the war. That's partly because Iran is being selective with the ships it targets, trying not to aggravate its most important customer. And remember, China is a country that has ignored international sanctions on the purchase of Iranian oil.
We get less than 1% of our oil from the Strait. China gets 90%.
But that's not quite right. In fact, only about 1/3 of China's oil and 25% of its gas imports pass through the strait. It also has a vast strategic reserve of crude oil to fall back on if the crisis continues. In other words, Beijing sees no urgent need to get drawn into the crisis. At least, not yet. China does have the second largest number of ships stacked up waiting to pass through. So if the backlog keeps growing, that might push them towards some kind of intervention. Donald Trump has asked that China, France, Japan, South Korea, the UK, and others send ships to unblock the strait. The traditional American allies, including the UK, have not offered the support Trump was hoping for. And Chinese support would be dramatic. China's navy is the largest in the world now and could bring incomparable resources to American efforts to open the strait by force. But even a US-Chinese mission might struggle to counter the Iranian mine, drone, and missile threat. More likely then is perhaps some kind of diplomatic deal, maybe brokered by China and supported by European countries anxious about energy shortages. And that deal might open the strait for neutral tankers. Chinese officials believe that a global energy shock will eventually force all parties to the conflict to step back anyway. They've already dispatched a special envoy to the Persian Gulf in anticipation of just such talks. That would keep the oil flowing to the rest of the world, but it would be a great blow to Donald Trump's prestige.